welcome back to our vice presidential debate coverage. Both candidates were looking to convince the American people to vote for them and their presidential ticket. For more analysis on the debate tonight, let's check back in with our political reporter, Will Keneally, joined once again by political analyst Brandon Scholes for a review of tonight's debate. Guys?
Eric, thank you. I want to start off, we were talking earlier about whether there's a winner or loser. I want to kind of reframe that with, did either candidate exceed or fall short of the expectations that were placed on them?
I think Vance exceeded the expectation that he would get a little snarky. And I think he probably reprised his role as a U.S. Senator and kind of kept the debate up there. I think Walz, nervous at the beginning, you know, kind of obvious, but he's sort of got his feet, you know, got his land legs, and he did okay coming there. But again, I think, you know, both of them did well, and it's tough to score a winner when it was this kind of debate.
So they talked about a litany of issues: immigration, abortion, also the economy. We heard both of them touch on that, and we have a clip that we can play back from the debate.
You just heard it in the answer. A lot of what Kamala Harris proposes to do, and some of it, I'll be honest with you, it even sounds pretty good. Here's what you won't hear, is that Kamala Harris has already done it. Because she's been the vice president for 3.5 years. She had the opportunity to enact all of these great policies, and what she's actually done instead is drive the cost of food higher by 25%.
The middle class.
Yeah, well, Kamala Harris's day one was Donald Trump's failure on COVID that led to the collapse of our economy. We were already before COVID in a manufacturing recession, but 10 million people out of work, largest percentage since the Great Depression. 9 million jobs closed on that. That was day one.
So heard both of them there. They kind of have to run a little bit both as a proxy for the top of the ticket, but also as their own candidate. And we heard them both kind of run essentially on these records that aren't their own, kind of the Harris-Biden record there, and then the Trump record from 4 years ago. How well did they do on that?
I thought Vance did okay, but I think Walz dropped the ball on that one because the Trump campaign says Harris hasn't done anything as vice president for 3.5 years. I thought Walz could have used that opportunity to push back on that. I don't think he did. He went right to, it was Trump's fault because of COVID that they created the situation. So he hasn't, I didn't think Walz did credit to try to dispel that notion that the Trump campaign says that Harris hasn't done anything.
And so these VP candidates, they can function a little bit as an attack dog. For example, they can get a little bit more in the dirt than the candidate at the top of the ticket. We didn't see too much of that there, but might we see that later in the campaign?
Well, I think we saw it, but in a more respectful way than what we anticipated. As you know, coming out of the presidential campaign and other debates that we've seen, usually VP candidates will take punches. They'll go after them. They'll hit hard. These two had a respectful evening, and they did take their jabs, they did take their pokes, they did say this is where you guys messed up, this is where you did wrong, your policy's wrong here. But they also stepped back and they didn't let it get so out of control that you missed the point of what they were talking about. They both were able to deliver their messages and positions and looked respectful doing it.
And quickly, anything that we didn't get to in that debate that you would have wanted to see from them?
No, I think, you know, the question is, did they come off and appear presidential if they were to take over that job? That's a tough one to call, but the fact that they were respectful and civic, you know, civil, they did the trick. Well,
Brandon Scholes, we will continue to go back to you throughout the campaign season. Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you. And Eric, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Will, always good to see you. Brandon, thank you to both of you. Over the coming days,